This is the one thing, if I want to hammer home anything else tonight, this is what is super important and I want to get out there. Scarily, I went out and Googled methylene blue on Amazon, and you can order methylene blue all over Amazon. And I want you to understand there are different grades of methylene blue. Because keep in mind, remember, it can be used as a dye, but it also can be used as a drug. Throughout the processes, you have a chemical grade, an industrial grade, and a pharmaceutical grade. Chemical grades can have anywhere between 20 to 30% impurities. Industrial grade can have up to 8 to 11% impurities. And sadly, I think many of the products that are sold online right now are not pharmaceutical grade. They're this industrial grade. And that scares me, and I'll tell you why in a second. We at the pharmacy, one of the reasons we just started using or recommending methylene blue, we have the ability to get a pharmaceutical grade. If you'll look down here on the bottom, it shows its total impurities as less than 5%. That's a requirement of the chemical. The one we currently have actually has a less than 0.05%. These impurities are things like arsenic, aluminum, cadmium, and mercury, and lead. Remember how we talked about before, your mitochondria can be dysfunctional if you have heavy metal toxicity. So how frightening is it to think you may be thinking something that you want to do to promote mitochondrial benefit, and you order a product that's loaded full of these heavy metals, you may be causing more harm than good. I can't stress that enough. Do not order a product offline. You don't know about the quality. You may be causing more harm than good. Keep in mind, lower strengths, less impurities, but we don't want any impurities. So I just want to stress that if you get anything from tonight, knowing where you get your methylene blue from. I don't want to spend a crazy amount of time on this, but I do want to talk about dosing a little bit because I'd like to get to some questions as far as that goes. But when we talk about most of the dosing that's in the literature right now talks about doing a milligram per kilogram dosing, 0.5 to 4 milligrams. I will tell you, most of the lectures and talks I've heard use 0.5 to 1. We go with really low dosing. The doses we've seen in the pharmacy are starting as low as 5 milligrams. Believe it or not, you can get enough benefit on some of these conditions at a dose of 5 milligrams a day, up to 50 milligrams a day. It's very patient individualized. One thing I haven't mentioned tonight is a drug called low-dose naltrexone, which we do a lot of. And just like low-dose naltrexone, we do, and it is maybe beneficial. We don't got to necessarily do quite the taper that we do with low-dose naltrexone, but we do want to start low and go slow because everybody's kind of got their own unique space where they need to be at. I will tell you also, too, low-dose naltrexone and methylene blue can be coupled together. Think about this as methylene blue helps improve mitochondrial function. Low-dose naltrexone reduces inflammation. Bingo. Top two things that drive the majority of disease in our country. The other thing I'll tell you, too, that's kind of unique is that methylene blue can be kind of that drug to go to. When we tried low-dose naltrexone and we didn't move the needle, methylene blue may be that good choice to try as an add-on, or maybe to try it to see if maybe we can help with some of the conditions that we'll talk from fibromyalgia or some of these conditions that are hard to treat. So once again, we're going to start low, work up slowly. The optimum dose, like you said, is very individualized. For the practitioners, methylene blue has about a 12-hour half-life, which means the dose you do today will stay in the system. Say if we go for like 5 half-lives, that's about 60 hours. So we're talking a couple days. It is excreted in the urine, and that's one of the unique things that makes methylene blue. It concentrates in the urine before the body excretes it, and that concentration in the urine can actually, that's what helps it available in the commercially available product to treat urinary tract infections. So instead of having to give these antibiotics all the time to treat UTIs or as a preventative, methylene blue can be given on a daily basis to keep that urinary tract in a good antiseptic level to prevent chronic urinary tract infections. Also, too, it's really important for good absorption. Methylene blue needs stomach acid. Taking it with food is important, but I also think about if you're going to spend money for methylene blue, that if you're on a bunch of acid blocker drugs, you may not see the full benefit. It may not get absorbed as well because it really needs that to get done. And methylene blue, just like low-dose naltrexone, can be cycled. We can take it at times when we need it. Let's say we've had a stroke and we want to try to repair that brain. And the quicker we can get this on board, the faster it works. There's also some thoughts about athletes who exercise to that oxidative stress part. Methylene blue may help re-energize that mitochondria to do things. So these are just some things to kind of keep in mind as far as that goes. There are also some thoughts about doing an oral solution to actually work the dose up slowly. We haven't been doing those. We've been doing mostly capsules, but I just want to show you what's out there so